In November of 2016, Tamara and I found a fantastic deal on flights to Tokyo, Japan that was simply impossible for us to pass up.
And so began our impromptu adventure to the land of the rising sun.
We have just arrived in Tokyo, Japan, and right now it's like 2 a.m. back home, but it's 4 p.m. here.
The Shinjuku neighborhood is a major commercial and administrative center and has the busiest rail station, not just in Tokyo or Japan, but in the world. Whenever you think of Tokyo, you're probably imagining Shinjuku with its bright lights and nightlife.
With around 350,000 people living in just 18 square kilometers, it's an incredibly dense, vibrant district and possibly the best place to set up camp to explore Tokyo. And we couldn't wait to get started.
After a quick nap to shake off our jet lag, we set out to wander around our new neighborhood.
We are in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. Oh man,
Shinjuku ni Shibuya.
Shinjuku, with its bright lights and high energy, feels like being inside a high-tech pinball machine.
This place is the brightest, loudest, craziest place I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like being in a video game.
And video games are a huge part of the culture.
This is like sensory overload. It's like awesome. Doesn't matter, we can go anywhere, it's gonna be insane.
With the entire city surrounding us, with so many new and exciting experiences at our disposal, we decided to try to find a pub where we could play darts the way we do every single week we're at home.
But it wasn't as easy as we would have assumed. We quickly learned that Japan plays a style of darts that doesn't use the kind of darts we brought with us.
But all the darts here are all electronic.
So we descended into Japan's intimidating but actually quite user-friendly subway system.
Odeo line.
It's easy to navigate as everything is clearly labeled, color coordinated, and mapped onto the floor, so it's hard to get lost.
In fact, we didn't have any problems throughout our trip.
So we're at Roppongi Station, and this is like our, what, 5th or 6th escalator? This is a really, really deep tunnel, and we're still not even out yet.
Roppongi became an area known for Western expats after it was destroyed in World War II and then occupied by American, British, and other Allied officials.
Roppongi is a very westernized side of things. We're a lot of wrong way. We're here to find a British style pub. I know we came all the way to Japan to go to a British pub, but we want to play darts. Oh, I agree. I think it is up that way. Or down this way. Regardless, we don't know where we are.
Eventually we found the Hobgoblin, a British-styled pub with a great attention to detail and friendly staff and patrons.
And it had proper dartboards. We settled in for some pints and darts and talked with locals, including a couple that lived in Tokyo who had moved from Canada and actually graduated from our alma maters.
As usual, Tamara mopped the floor with me at cricket.
Okay, right now we're looking for that famous Shibuya Crossing. Every time they show a shot of Japan and Tokyo, they have this crossing, so let's go.
Shibuya Crossing is a scramble crossing, meaning that all traffic comes to a stop, allowing pedestrians to cross in every direction in a ballet of controlled chaos.
featured in movies like Lost in Translation, The Animatrix, and The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, making it a modern Tokyo pop culture icon. The Tsukiji Market was once the largest wholesale food market in the world, but has since relocated to the Toyosu Market a few kilometers away.
It was actually supposed to close in November of 2016 when we visited, but the move was delayed, so we were lucky to experience the old market in its entirety.
The outer market, with its mixture of shops and restaurants that attracts locals and tourists alike, is still there today.
One of the new spots.
One of the main attractions are the multitude of restaurants that serve the freshest sushi on the planet. Fortunately, there are pictures to help the tourists out. It is right around lunchtime. So we have queued up to try some fish right here in the fish market. A little bit of a lineup, but clearly it's popular.
The wait can be over an hour, so you place your order ahead of time to keep things moving.
After an hour of waiting in line, we finally get the freshest sashimi that I think I'm ever gonna have.
The dining rooms are small and only have seating at a counter, and the food is ready by the time you sit down.
Hands down the best sushi we ever had in our lives.
What'd you get?
I got 2 pieces of sushi for Sam. Sushi 1.
Lovely caviar.
And these are like glass, so they're not, yeah, that's why they're a little bit more.
Fancy.
And sushi too.
And a proper sushi.
Some tuna.
Awesome.
You gotta go get pantyhose for your mother.
Good, let's include that in the video.
The instantly recognizable Japan Radio Tower, or Tokyo Tower as it's commonly known, is an orange and white broadcast antenna in the Minato district that is reminiscent of the Eiffel Tower, offering spectacular 360-degree views of Tokyo.
After the Tokyo Tower, we emerged from the subway right into what appeared to be an improvised, somewhat cheeky, marching band playing in the streets of Shinjuku.
That was just for us. I know it.
You come out of the subway, you do a marching band. Let's get cheeseburger.
One evening, we went on a walk around Shinjuku to see the sights at night when we stumbled upon a bustling market filled with vendors and shacks, some selling food, gifts, and assorted knickknacks, while others were selling what looked to be very ornate golden wreaths and traditional trinkets.
So it seems there's some sort of event going on tonight.
I don't know what it is either, but it seems to be some sort of celebration right now. Everything's really shiny and gold.
We could not figure out what this festival was, but it looked like it had a religious purpose.
So it's like they're doing a blessing or something on it. I gotta find out what this is. And then they'll just throw the thing right into this pit, which is full of all sorts of the beautiful adornments that they've bought. Good throw. So I'm not sure what it is, but it's everyone's doing it.
And if everyone was eating really salty, dried whole fish on a stick, wouldn't you do it too?
I don't even know what to do.
All right, take a bite. Oh, bite number 2. That's impressive. Whoa.
Oh, it's salty.
I'm
Oh.
not sure.
It's like eating pure salt. Come on, I had to try that, right?
After a quick dip into a pharmacy for some Pepto-Bismol, we found out a little more about the event.
We learned from a helpful girl in there that it's actually a festival for the children.
At first, Festival for the Children didn't seem like it answered many questions. But the next day we headed out to Meiji Shrine, where it all began to make more sense. Located in the Shibuya district, Meiji Shrine is a Shinto Buddhist shrine dedicated to the 122nd Emperor of Japan.
While we were there, we saw all kinds of beautiful flowers and elaborate bonsai tree arrangements. And there was an incredible amount of sake fermenting in barrels.
Then we noticed the kids.
Lots of kids.
Young and dressed up in incredibly beautiful traditional costumes with their hair all done up. The festival is known as Shichigo-san.
Shichigo-san literally means 753, and it's a rite of passage for Japanese children at those ages held around the 15th of November.
This annual tradition celebrates the growth and well-being of young children and dates back centuries to a period when surviving infancy was a lot more difficult and a lot less likely.
It hasn't changed much since the Meiji period of the late 19th century, when children dressed up in beautiful kimonos or haifus. Votive tablets are a popular way for people to offer up prayers and make wishes that can be found all over the place in Japan.
And so we had to partake in this lovely custom as well.
Meiji Shrine is a popular location for Buddhists to observe Shichigo-san customs and take photographs of the beautiful estate.
It's also an incredibly popular venue for weddings, as we saw at least 4 processions in the brief time we were there.
Time for a little snack here at Meiji Shrine.
But we're not loading up on carbs, no buns. Although we do have a pork bun here. So hungry. It's delicious, actually. You should try it. It's really good. Pretty good, right? All right, let's break up the meat though, because it's like, oh, take a bite. I got much to eat a pork bun.
While the Tokyo subway initially looks daunting, it really is quite easy to navigate. But it's even easier with a local guide. For us, it was our friend, Alan Dembski.
It goes a long way. It really does help, you know?
The Kichijoji neighborhood is a popular commercial and shopping district named after the Kichijoji temple, which was destroyed by fire in 1657.
So this neighborhood's kind of like a shopping district. It's kind of comfortable, not overly expensive like Tokyo Station was.
It's consistently ranked as one of the most popular areas to live amongst Japanese people.
Alan brought us to Kichijoji to check out some of the sights and to grab dinner and drinks at a few places he likes to frequent. Alan's family has been a friend of mine for decades and was a classmate of my sister Samantha since grade school. He's a musician who's been living in Tokyo for a few years while applying for his permanent residency status.
We went to Isseiya, a popular yakitori restaurant where Alan took us on a tour of some of the flavors of Japan.
Konnichiwa.
So, what do you want to drink? What do you guys want?
Binbiru.
This is a pleasure for me too. I'm
Absolutely.
happy to have home with you. Yeah, straight up.
Some we already loved,
Edamame.
some had an acquired taste.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Basic pork pat.
We then explored the extensive outdoor Sun Road Mall, which had a variety of retail outlets, as well as restaurants and food wholesalers laid out like a labyrinth.
We stopped by the famous steakhouse Satu, where you can buy top-of-the-line Wagyu and Kobe beef steaks.
Kudasai is, yeah, you got it.
We had to try their delicious deep-fried beef balls.
There was no line, so we didn't have to wait at all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Go.
But when we went back the next day, we saw just how popular it can be.
The lineup can be sometimes a little bit substantial.
We finished the night at the craft beer market, which brewed their own incredible microbrews.
I'm gonna do the scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt. That's
Scuttlebutt from Seattle.
Scuttlebutt is a great name for beer.
I'm here in a Japanese bathroom at a microbrew, and right away the toilets are 100% better than what you'd experience anywhere else. So I'm about to have a Japanese bathroom experience.
There's kind of like shit here that I don't quite understand, so I'm gonna just try one of these. Well, did nothing, so. But the seat's warm, so. Uh-oh. No, it did nothing. Back to good old-fashioned TP.
Okay, I just discovered that one here means flush. Japanese toilet experience. Done.
Cheers to that.
We couldn't have asked for a better local guide. Alan and I had a great time catching up.
And I had a blast meeting a close friend of my wife's family and getting to know a new friend.
This has been an awesome night.
Kichijoji. One of the most popular tourist attractions in Shinjuku is the ridiculously Japanese robot restaurant.
So this is the famous robot restaurant.
The lights and sounds are really wild and exciting, and the performers pull a lot into this energetic show. We highly recommend you make a reservation, but be careful if you're sensitive to strobe lights.
It's not really a restaurant per se, as they only serve drinks and snacks, but it definitely has robots. It is delightfully Japanese, holding nothing back as it leans into all the tropes while telling a story about nature versus technology.
At least we think that's what it was all about. We were seated next to Ryan and April, a wonderful couple visiting from California, and we hit it off and decided to grab some drinks in the Golden Guy neighborhood where Robot Restaurant is located.
We can get a picture of y'all too.
Over 250 tiny shanty-style bars, nightclubs, and restaurants are crammed into a network of alleys in Shinjuku known as Golden Guy. So the area is equally known for its unique architecture and exciting nightlife.
It's a popular destination for tourists, as well as the creative class of artists, writers, directors, and actors, but with a history of alcohol and prostitution, so there's just enough edge to make it exciting.
This area is home to quite a few Yakuza-operated bars, including one we think we may have visited after making friends with Daisuke, a local surfer and man about town.
We are drunk in Tokyo, man.
We ended up on the 7th floor of what felt like an office building where there was a small bar operated by the elderly mother of a heavily tattooed gentleman with bleached hair.
We drank, took selfies, and sang karaoke until the early morning.
It's not working. All right. Hey, come on.
Things got pretty blurry.
It was awesome.
Tequila. Hey, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yeah. Oh. That's good.
Well, that's been our experience here in Japan. We are finished in Tokyo and off to the next adventure.
Sayonara, Japan.
We didn't get to spend a lot of time in Tokyo, but the food, friends, and fun vibes really left an impact. All told, it feels like we might have only seen 1% of Japan.
Since we've come home, we've become obsessed with a popular Japanese reality show, Terrace House. And it's only made us want to go back for a deeper dive into this ancient culture set in one of the most modern countries on Earth.
Domo arigato, Japan.